Hi everybody, I'm Bill Whittle here with my friend Andrew Klavan, who normally wears a blazer, but who today is wearing the family crest of the Klavan family, which if you zoom in can see is actually a wet gerbil rampant eating its own tail, apparently.
There's a long story behind that.
Please, I'm sure it has nothing to do with it.
I'm not allowed to tell it.
No, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's when the Bosnian Klavans slaughtered all of the French Klavans.
The
bloody mess, yes, a horrible mess. Good God, I can't bear to go on. Andrew, your topic today comes from the pluralistic, diverse, and non-objective men, women, and children that make up the PJTV producers.
I've met the children. I haven't met any of the others.
The parents just drop them off and leave them.
That's how it works.
Pick them up, at, they get paged, and off they go. If you could remove one person in the world from power, who would you remove? Does everybody count as one person, or did you say everybody?
Just pull down the entire Capitol under the ground.
I have a vote. I'm curious to know who you would.
You know, I have to say, it would be Obama.
Yes.
Even now. I mean, he's coming to the end of his presidency. He's got a Twitter account, a Facebook account, so you know how he's going to be spending his post-presidency, you know. That's right, you know. I'm still here, you know, pay attention. But you know, I've never hated Obama the way some people do, in the sense that I've never thought he was evil. I've never thought he was a super genius or anything like this, you know, who's like manipulating the world. I don't believe in super geniuses, basically, who can manipulate the world. You know, I think he is exactly what he seems to be. He is a left-wing junior college academic who brilliantly parlayed his color into high office. And I think when he got into high office, he has been as incompetent and buffoonish as possible. Mm-hmm. And all his theories have been disproved, but he didn't have, like, as even Carter had, he didn't have the wherewithal to change them, to change his ideas in keeping with reality, because I seriously think he suffers from narcissistic personality disorder.
Question.
And he cannot take the ego hit of being wrong. The reason I say him as opposed to somebody who is evil, like Assad, is because his decisions have been so wrong that I've stopped blaming the people who think he's a secret Muslim counteragent, because you can almost make that argument. He's made so many bad decisions that you could almost make that argument. His signature thing at home, Obamacare, is falling like dominoes. It's just collapsing. And it's a catastrophe for people. The stuff he has done in the Middle East, which really is what his legacy is going to be, is a blood-drenched mess. It has elevated the worst elements in the Middle East, which are the worst elements anywhere, and destroyed it. I mean, they're now talking about the Christian community, one of the most ancient Christian communities on earth, going to be wiped out within 10 years. Israel is really struggling and just hanging on to its life, waiting for Obama to go. I think that removing him from power, even if it meant elevating Joe Biden, and I'd like to think by kind of unanimous vote, everybody would just declare him too stupid to be president and give it to somebody else. But even if it elevated Joe Biden, I think I've never seen a person who's made so many bad decisions and bad mistakes. And it's simply, I believe, because his philosophy is wrong. His philosophy is it's un-American, it's anti-American, it's un-American, it's anti-American, it's anti-humanist, and it's simply not workable. It's something that you can sit around in a classroom and win the love of undergraduates by proposing, but it's not something you bring to the real world. And I just think it's such a mess that the minute he can be stopped, legally, he should be stopped.
People say you hate him because he's black. It's like that's the only thing I liked about the guy. And I mean, that was
his highlight of his
the only thing I liked about him.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we couldn't have gotten a real black president, somebody who went through some of the actual disadvantages of slavery or racism, the legacy of slavery and racism in the South, that kind of thing, instead of a doobie-smoking, spoiled narcissist who was raised overseas and who went to the most expensive private school in the United States. I mean, the guy's a complete zero. I do hate him. I hate him because what you're talking about being the Muslim sympathizing super trader mega genius, you can say he isn't one of those things, but if his decisions are all exactly the same as if they were, then what's the actual difference?
Well, there's something to that.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, if everything he does is to destroy American powers, destroy American prestige, destroy the American economy, weaken the military, he's forcing all the warriors out of the military. These are people that are ready to give their lives and have given their lives for this country. They're committing suicide in record numbers because they want a victory that was then taken away by Obama, who ran on a peace platform, so he can't conduct a simple status of forces agreement in Iraq. It's not just the soldiers that lost their lives and the soldiers that are continuing to commit suicide because of this victory that they lost their friends for, and now that's being taken away by his simple narcissism. It's the millions of people over there who are being murdered by ISIS every day as a result of his determination to snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory. And I could go on with this all day. You can find out a lot about a person by what they achieve when they achieve their life goals, and apparently this guy's commitment to social justice consists of finding the most exclusive golf courses in the world and playing with the whitest, richest people he can find.
Oh, he's been a disaster for black people in this country. It's just amazing when you look at the numbers, the median income down, the house ownership down, the employment down, everything. It's just been a disaster. And, you know, by the way, when you say whether I hate him or not, I despise him. But, you know,
I don't know what the distinction is.
Well, I mean, I just look down upon him. I think he is a fool, and I think he's a man who parlayed political correctness way beyond the Peter Principle, way beyond the level of his incompetence.
You see, if he were an actual socialist like Fidel Castro, or somebody like that, I'd have more respect for him. I think he'd be completely wrong, but he would have some sort of internal character. He'd have some sort of internal motivation that's bigger than his personal ego, which is all there is to the guy. I used to seriously wonder why the president of the Harvard Law Review hadn't written any law reviews, because when he was president of Harvard Law Review, he didn't write any. And this goes to the stupid aspect of him, too. He wrote law reviews, Drew. You don't get to be president of Harvard Law Review and not write law reviews. The reason that none of them were published is because they're unpublishable. Because that 106 IQ may have gotten him some attention at Columbia University, and it may have made him look good at cocktail parties, and it may have made Harvard said, hey, we've got this charming black man who we're going to put in our figurehead position to show how progressive we are. But when it comes time to write an actual law review for Harvard Law, they began to realize that what they had here was simply so mediocre that if we publish this, we're going to be laughed out of the room. The guy's a catastrophe.
Yeah, and I really do think that it's amazing that you can be shielded from reality, rise to the presidency while being so shielded from reality that it never occurs to you to say, oh, that's not the way things work. That actually doesn't meet reality. My ideas don't meet reality. I have to change them. It happens to all of us in life, right? All of us have to change our ideas to conform to reality. He's never had to do that.
He's never had to, because these doors have opened across the street for him. When has he ever been confronted in his entire life, ever?
Yeah, it's true.
Never. Coddled little child, and he's got a lot more damage to do before he's done.
Yep.
That's all we have time for today, but you can let us know what questions you'd like answered in that little comment section below. For Andrew Klavan and PJTV, I'm Bill Whittle. Thanks for watching.